Hey everyone, Oracle Maiden Lunafreya. You've seen me pull for her. I am still super excited to use her finally tomorrow in Dark Visions and for a couple of trials. We're gonna have so much fun with our Water Queen. But today we're gonna check out what she can do, what she can't do, etc. So let's get a quick overview. As you can see, or as you already know, she's a light water magic chainer in her base form and a light evocation finisher in her brave shift. And since I do own her, obviously, I am a huge fan of evocation damage dealers, and especially of Final Fantasy 15, I pulled for her. So I forgot to change the name of this slide to Lunafreya, but this is a showcase of Lunafreya, not King Heeey. Excuse me, I had so little time this week. This is an oversight on my end. I will fix this via DaVinci editing though. But it's showtime, so let's check out Lunafreya. Okay, so let's check out Lunafreya's damage. I'm using Leviathan level 10 as an example here. We're not gonna punch the training dummy anymore. We've got a better one. That also has higher stats, so we can actually check out Lunafreya's damage in total. So let's not care about the other units. So let's check out Lunafreya and how to gear her properly. You're also gonna see her best in slot gear in one of the other slides. This is just for the base form. Really doesn't matter, to be honest, what you put in here. Let's check out the brave shift, because that is where all the rage and all the damage is coming from. As you can see, this is the gear I'm currently using. Keep in mind some things will change for her best in slot. As you can see, or as you know, we don't have item world, meaning the Scepter of the Pious can't be enhanced. And if I were to take off her vision card, which is her own at the moment, I would lose way too much magic percent. This is 60 magic percent in total that is lost, meaning it is not doable to do this build without our own vision card. So yeah, as for the abilities, Indestructible Light, Savior of Souls Lightning, STMR. I'm also using for the King currently. You don't need to. It is actually... No, actually I have to use for the King, I believe. Yeah, it is 40 attack. I don't know, the magic, I mean, which is kind of necessary if I'm not entirely mistaken. Yeah. I mean, no, I gotta use this. Yeah. If I don't, I won't be at max magic attack, because Rydia's Headband technically is not. You could use Rydia's Headband, or you should reuse this for her best in slot, but again, you're gonna see this later. So this is the best I could do right now. It is a strong build nonetheless. She's got 240 Esper damage, 300 Evo damage, and 200 LB damage. It gets a little bit better with her best in slot, but this is the best I could do. So let's start this fight and let's check out her abilities and such. I've also seen that I'm using two versions of Ravenheart. If you don't have Ravenheart twice, don't be disappointed or sad. You can use Frisia's Poncho, which is a free equipment piece you got from an event last week or 2 weeks ago. So since we're starting in a brave shift, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. You need evocation stuff for the abilities. She can triple cast most of her stuff, as you can see. So we've got Light of Virtue, a 65 modifier light attack that also imperils light by what, 20%. We've got Power of the Hydreian, which is a strong water evocation finishing move. She can dual cast. Magic, which she doesn't have because, oh right, it's from Ravenheart, never mind. She can 120 Water Imperil on her own, but the Water Imperil is also on Torrent of Purity, which you are using anyway. So her rotation is pretty easy. You're going to use Water Blessing, 15% water amplification for herself, 300 magic increase. You're also going to use Gentiana's Aid, which is a 250 LP damage, and it fills her entire LP gauge. And for the last one, you have a choice. If you have a 130 Imperil, for example, from outside sources, you may skip Torrent of Purity. And instead use, for example, a Benevolence of the Hydreian, which is a 130 water resistance buff to the whole party, and it also restores MP to the whole party. This is a good option if you have an outside source of water Imperil. You can, for example, also use Light of the Virtue for 120 Imperil, say for Noctis. It's pretty sweet, but we're gonna use Torrent of the Purity for this example. Okay, so let's do the damage first. Let's reload all of them. Let's do this so we don't kill the boss on accident, because I actually want to chain properly. And let's break the boss now. This is my farming team for the raid, so I don't want to kill the boss on accident by going in correct order here. Okay, on turn 2 you're gonna limit burst with Lunafreya. So I know by heart that Ignis and Noctis are SR chaining, triple SR chaining, so let's have these two go. Hopefully this works out. Let's cap with Lunafreya. We dealt 2 billion and the cap was the chain was pretty bad. So yeah, that was pretty good, wasn't it? So Lunafreya, pretty strong, but let's do this one again and let's check out her base form this time around. Okay, I got a few medals that I don't actually need anymore, but it's fine. It's for showcasing and for science. So let's use whatever unit we can get. Let's get her back to the base form so we can check that one out. Okay, base form Lunafreya, just like Terra, she fills the evocation gauge immediately. She's got a few spells for Rega, Blazega, Fandaiga, which she can triple cast innately. She also got Shining Star of Rebirth, which is a 72x light magic attack, which is quite handy, and it deals tremendous amount of damage of all the magic she can get. She's got Dawn of Purity, you've seen this one previously, 120 Light Imperil, also a huge nuke at 100x modifier. Torrent of Purity, it's the same. Star of Grace, it enables quad casting, it also boosts her magic by 300%, it's pretty strong. And as you can see, her base form is pretty basic, so to speak. She's got the most important things over here. And on the passive side of things, let's check out her passives real quick. She can, that's the wrong one. So she's got 150 Aquatic and Dragon Killer innately, Undying Love, which is quite handy for Leviathan in this case. Yeah, she fills evocation gauge, as you've seen, 150 LB boost, so the usual, pretty much nothing too serious. But you have to keep in mind she only has the 5x modifier cap innately, so you will always need Lunafreya, not Lunafreya, Savior of Souls Lightning's STMR to get her up to 6x cap. Okay, and that's it pretty much for Lunafreya. Base form, you can chain a Light of Virtue in her bolting strike frames, but keep in mind it's on a lower modifier, it's only 65x. Her Chaos Wave Awaken CWA is higher modifier at 72x, but if it's better for you to chain bolting strike and you don't mind losing a little bit of DPS, you can do that obviously. But for the best case scenario, you're always going to use her 72x Chaos Wave Awaken frames. Alright, let's go back to the PowerPoint slides then. Okay, so as you can see, I fixed the slide's name or headline to Lunafreya. Let's keep going and check out the Trustmaster, Super Trustmaster and Chronicle weapon. So let's start off with the Trustmaster. It's a materia, 40% magic, 50% Esper stats. Now, keep in mind, Esper stats is neither evocation magic nor is it evocation damage. It's just raw Esper stats that you gain here. So this is in the same vein as it is with Dream of Faith, Titus, Super Trustmaster or GF extension, which was an event materia if I'm not totally mistaken. So in all, her materia is pretty bad. Esper stats are worthless unless you cannot fit anything else into your 4 materia slots. I've had this happen this Dark Visions actually, where I ran out of killers and I was capped on LB, I was capped on attack power, and I had no more Equine killer for Leviathan, so I actually used GF extension on one of my units. And if you're facing the same issue on a magic unit, well, there's a Trustmaster to use, right? That's one of the options, but you will very, very rarely use this Trustmaster on anyone. I mean, you can use this on herself if you don't have her Trustmaster or Super Trust, if you don't have a Super Trustmaster equipped, which is highly likely. And you gain 50% LB damage on top of that through activating her Trustmaster passive. So yeah, it is okay for that, but chances are you're never gonna use this on herself or anyone else. Her Super Trustmaster is a rod, as you can see, with 178 magic, 120 spirit, and 50% evocation damage. Now this sounds cool on paper, but it's not good for herself. She herself wants to use the Chronicle weapon staff, which we will get to in just a minute. But the rod itself is good for Terra and Ferris especially, when you are using Realm. And I guess it's only good for certain Dark Visions bosses, such as Undine, which is our current spirit boss. So if you're using Ferris and or Terra, you may as well give the rod to either of them, and they will do way more damage than with their own Super Trustmasters respectively. And the reason is quite simple. You're using a rod, right? You may also use Milo's STMR, but from the calculations I've seen, Lunafreya's rod actually beats the LB rod from Milo. Now, I don't know about the split, one Milo rod, one Lunafreya rod, but I know that this is a good option for them. Now, I also included Lunafreya on this one. I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure whether this is actually the case, because I truly think that her double staff is better in any case, no matter whether Realm is on the team or not, is better than the rod itself. But keep in mind, if you're using the Super Trustmaster of Lunafreya on Terra or Ferris, it has lower magic than their respective Super Trustmasters. And the Chronicle weapon, you get 2 copies of it for free. There are only 2 copies, so you cannot farm more than that. But it's fine, you will probably never use more than 2 of this anyway. And at level 4, you gain 202 magic, 90 spirit, 12 attack. You also gain 50% LB damage, 750 static magic, 50% evocation damage, and 50% Esper stats. This is crazy, and if you're using 2 of those staffs, you gain 1500 static magic. It is so best in slot, it's not even funny anymore. It is the maximum amount of power creep you can get. It's 100 LB damage on top of all things, 100% evoke damage. It's just crazy levels of good, and you should not skip this. Just farm this. I mean, you can effectively only use this on the Final Fantasy 15 units, mainly Lunafreya. But should you pull for her, and you should honestly, or off-banner her sometime down the line, you really want to use staffs on her. And if you're wondering, you should also get 30% magic on each staff, so you can gear her appropriately. But we're gonna get to the gearing process in just a minute or two. So yeah. That's for the evaluation. So in total, TMR, STMR, not so worth it, not chaseable. You shouldn't chase either of them, but chase the staff. Get it to +4 as soon as you can, especially if you have Lunafreya already. Let's check out her vision card. Great animation work again. The card, 100 magic, base magic at level 10, 50 at level 1. You gain 60% unconditional magic from level 4 and 7 passives and 30% evo magic if the wearer or if the unit that is doing or equipping this vision card is female. And coincidentally, all our evocation damage dealers are female so far. I believe Chronicle is the first one who's not a female coming down the line, but he's bad anyway. So the vision card is actually superb for Faris. She actually badly needs this card because of the evocation magic it provides. Faris really lacks evocation magic, so this is good for her. It's not even good, it's superb for her. It has a decent stat allocation, but Terra's card has more magic percent, which sadly requires a sword, so there's always this little trade-off. Either you gain little magic percent without any restriction, or you gain a lot of magic percent but with a restriction such as wearing a sword. The vision card is okay on Lunafreya herself, but Lunafreya actually wants either Faris's vision card or, even better, Starlight Elena's vision card. And her best in slot, which also includes item world magic affixes to her staffs, is the best one. So Starlight Elena's vision card with double staff is the best one. So let's check out the damage comparison. This is the build. Yeah, this looks good. You can actually see all the things I used here. So we are comparing EX plus 3, but I also included EX plus 2 and EX plus 1 in the damage comparison. And for the damage comparison at EX plus 2 and 1, I just changed the EX level ceteris paribus, meaning all else held constant. So nothing on the gearing side changed, it's just the EX level that changed. We are also using a few very important assumptions for this. 25 sword in peril for Terra and Faris mainly. We are facing an undead, which doesn't matter as everyone here is evocation damage dealers. Dark Visions boss with 20,000 spirit and 90% break, implying we're using lightning, and a 60% passive buff to SPR. The boss also has 60% passive resistance to all elements, but we are imperiling fire, water and wind by 130%. We are also using best in slot cases for each unit, meaning a 45% wind amp for Faris via bards. We are also using a 40% water amp for Lunafreya. 15% is coming from her power-up skill in her Brave Shift, and 25% are coming from her limit burst. And as for Terra, we are using her own 15% fire amplification and her 25% limit burst field. Everyone is wearing best in slot here, as you can see. This also implies that Faris is wearing Lunafreya's vision card and Lunafreya is using Starlight Elena's vision card here. Everything else is pretty much the same all across the units. Now keep in mind, as you can see, Lunafreya's best in slot includes 2 Raven Hearts. Now if you only have 1 Raven Heart, don't sweat it, you can use Frisia's Poncho. It is a decent substitute, it's a little bit weaker, but since we are comparing best in slot, this is what the best in slot for all 3 units looks like. And you can substitute with lesser, quote-unquote lesser gear, such as Frisia's Poncho instead of Ravenheart. Okay, so let's check out the average damage. I also included the assumptions once more for you guys over here. As you can see, Lunafreya comes out on top in every single case. Now, as you can see, at EX plus 3, Lunafreya does 31% more damage than Terra and more than 40% than Faris. And this goes through all the different stages of EX levels, and at EX plus 1 the difference is the highest with almost 40% difference. It should be 34 or 35% difference between Lunafreya and Terra. Both gain quite a lot from EX plus 2ing them. So if you have the chance to EX plus 2 Lunafreya, you really should. As you can see, the difference is pretty high. It is more than 10% net gain in damage. Okay, so I'll give you a few more seconds to look at this, but you can also just stop the video, look at the numbers yourself. I guess this is the easiest one. So let's check out how does she fare in the meta. As you can see, Lunafreya actually demolishes everything. She plows through the meta, she plows through all the trials so far we've seen with ease. And the best thing is you get her best weapons for free, twice. She deals 30% more damage than Terra at EX plus 3. She also works very, very well as a light chainer in base. She is the highest sustained damage for magic DPS, that is, obviously, when chaining with light. So she's actually useful outside her limit burst, which neither Terra nor Pharros are, which is a huge upside for Lunafreya. She also pairs very well with Milo, who is a water LB finisher. So Lunafreya's water field actually helps Milo out quite a bit. And Lunafreya is a very sound investment for the upcoming months, and I'd suggest you will at least use her for 3 months, maybe even 4, depending on how Gumi treats the meta going forward. So, should you pull? Now here's the thing, did you actually skip Terra or Pharros? Then don't skip Lunafreya. You have absolutely no reason to skip Lunafreya unless you don't care about Dark Visions and you don't care about Trials. That is the only reason why I would say, okay, it's fine to skip Lunafreya. But if you really want to have an easy time farming Trials, if you want to get the best scores in Dark Visions, don't skip Lunafreya. Do yourself a favor and just pull. Especially if you're doing banner pulls for Lapis, you are getting the most important Evoker STMRs on top for free, basically. And these two are the originator of the final summoning and Rydia's headband. Both cost 3 summon coins each, 6 in total. So 30k Lapis down the line, you will get 2 STMRs. And if you do 2 more pulls, you pity Lunafreya. So you got 2 most important things. You get the 2 weapons, you get the 2 STMRs. You're almost set to go, right? These are the most important parts. The rest you can just fill up with the stuff you've got, and she will deal tremendous amounts of damage. And what's also very neat about Lunafreya is that she needs the least amount of evocation gear, and thus making her usability far easier even for newer players. Even if you're a new player, you will most likely get her to crazy numbers without having to spend many resources on evocation gear, because you're getting Originator of the Final Summoning and Rydia's headband for free technically once you invest 30k Lapis. So in conclusion, you either pull or you will forever regret this. I'm serious with this. If you don't pull for Lunafreya, you will regret this and you will cry on everything, and you will probably also downvote all my videos for Dark Visions, as many people did. Funnily, I've gotten quite a few dislikes on my Monday videos for Dark Visions. I don't know why. Is it probably because I'm using double evocation damage dealers? I don't know. But yeah, you will regret not pulling for Lunafreya, and yeah, there's no evocation unit that is actually this good in the next 3 months. Chlorail is trash, unless Gumi buffs him to crazy levels, which I don't think is happening, so. You should pull, I told you so. Don't make me say this in a month or 2. And that concludes this video, the unit review for Oracle Maiden Lunafreya. Thank you all for watching, and I already also reached 1000 subscribers, so thank you very much. And I think I said it a couple of weeks or months ago that if I reach 1000 subs, I will open up a Discord server. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna post a video on this probably either Saturday or Sunday. But I'll give you all the information regarding the Discord server very soon. I will set this up tomorrow probably with a friend of mine who is very well versed in all these things, because when it comes to Discord I'm a true boomer, so I have no clue how to do these things. And yeah, you can also look for my Near Vision prediction video on Sunday. So we're gonna check out May units, not only Near Vision but also Near Vision Awakened units. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see each other tomorrow for a few Dark Visions and demolishment, is that even a word? Demolishing, Lunafreya demolishing stuff video. Bye bye.